Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm a former Boeing 737 pilot and a member of the PMDG 737 tech team. Today we are going to fly the 737-900 from IndyBuild's lovely Detroit down to Puerto Rico's brand new San Juan airport in the Caribbean. This is pretty much the latest Caribbean destination, and I would really like to thank Orbex for giving me a review copy of the scenery to show you guys. Alright then, I'd say without any further ado, we just get right into it and take a seat in the flight deck of our 737. So do folloo me inside. Let's put our code away, flight back in place, same for you, and then we can take a seat on the captain's seat of our 737-900 here. Real world Delta configuration, and well, then let's go ahead and just download our flight plan data, have a very quick look into the plan. So this is what our route of flight looks like today. No ETOPS required, we are within 60 minutes from a suitable alternate at all times. The weather has a beautiful jet stream pushing us down towards Puerto Rico, and well, there is a little bit of a thunderstorms forecast for the arrival, and we're going through that area number 3, which is moderate turbulence on the arrival. That's just about fine. Alright, so then let's have a look into the airport weather. Our departure in Detroit is pretty cold here, temperature -4. There is some snow lying everywhere around as well, but nothing significant. Our alternate in San Juan is quite a bit easier today. Couple of showers of rains and that kind of stuff, but overall the weather is quite good. So I'd say without any threats anticipated for our arrival over here, the alternate is very good as well. Just typical Caribbean weather there, a couple of showers every now and then, but otherwise beautiful. We can have a look into the plan. We are leaving Detroit at 13:43, arriving a good 40 minutes ahead of schedule today. The weights are all not really critical. 350 is going to be our flight level, and finally looking into the fuel. Yeah, that's freedom units, guys. We have 28,000 pounds minimum. Questions, do we need any extra? And my answer is no, not really. So let's go ahead, load that plane from SimReef, then we can go right down over here as well, and we said we wanted 28,000 pounds today, like that. Alright, cool. So with that, our plane is loaded. Then we can already see that there are some ice building on the windshields here. So how about we just get back up again and do our acceptance checks, which is battery on, ground power is on, landing gear lever is down. Then we can do the APU fire test, like that. And the same goes for the squibs. Are all looking good, and then I tell you what, I am gonna start that APU straight away, because hell, it's cold over here. Okay, so emergency exit lights are armed, then fueling is complete, so I might already turn that seatbelt sign on. Attendant calls are tested, and the takeoff config warning is tested. Cargo fire is tested. Let's also turn that transponder off for the time being. Voice recorder on. Then we got the flight data recorder, which is tested. Clackers 1 and 2. Stick shakers 1 and 2. And finally the IRSs 1 and 2. Okay, so that's all looking fantastic. Then we can have another seat again. And since the temperature is that cold, let me also turn on the window heat and the probe heat already, just to get rid of all that stuff. Now APU is here, then let's also get some air conditioning going in the cabin there. Probably rather cold, is it? Yeah, it is rather cold. Alright, so hydraulic pumps on, and then you can head out for the walk around. Here's your wheel well light as well. And while you're doing that, we are going to set our aircraft up for the flight. So light test is actually looking pretty good. Like that, we want traffic, airport, and terrain. And ooh, what was that? On the other side, airports and terrain as well. Oxygen test, looking good, and the gauge is steady. I like it. Well, and then we're ready to start our flight plan setup. So I will be using my wing unit to operate the FMS. So let's start by getting the ATIS. Kilo Delta Tango Whiskey. Sent that, and well, waiting for everything to come in. Departure, Detroit, we want the airport chart. And which sit do we have? It's the LITS 4 departure. And looking at this, departing runway 4 right, 3 left, we are probably going to go off runway 4 right. So let's see, LITS 4. Here it is, and pinned. Beautiful. Alright then, so FMC 737-900ER, 27K rating, and the nav database is up to date. Then we can copy and paste the GPS position. We will do an automatic flight plan request here of the SimReef route. And that's going from Kilo Delta Tango Whiskey to Tango Juliet Sierra Juliet, and we are the Delta 1913 today. So far, so good. Okay, so load that thing up, and then let's see what we are gonna get. In the meantime, GSX, you can start the boarding process, please. And then we are well underway. Alright, route uplink has loaded, so departure, Detroit, runway 4 right, and we got the LITS 4 departure, and that one's going towards Gritty. Alright, and for the arrival, it'll be an ILS approach, I think runway 10, is it? Let's look it up. Yeah, runway 10. So ILS runway 10 and probably the Sala 2 arrival. We'll see about that. Okay, so route activate, and then let's have a very quick look over this just to ensure that it matches what we had filed. And that actually looks quite good. We do have a discontinuity there at the end. That is fine. Let's actually just have a very quick look at what that arrival looks like back there. Yeah, that actually looks quite okay. We just got to get rid of that wax set prior to Salar, because that doesn't really belong there. Okay, so Salar, copy, Salar, paste, here we go. That is looking good. Alright, so performance. Let's see, cost index is 30. So reserve fuel 2.6 plus 2.6, that's 5.2. Okay, reserve fuel weight 142.1, flight level 350. So, top of climb wind, suppose we can take it from here, 300 and 100. Like that, temperature minus 48, transition altitude 18,000, that looks good. And noise abatement procedure 2 with the acceleration in 1500. If that is what Delta wants, then that is what Delta gets. Okay, 250 below 10,000, and then we can insert our 25-mile ring around the departure airport here. Finally, let's have a look at our sit. So, straight ahead and then heading 064 in the best, max 230 above 2500. So, we intercept 074. Okay, that's got to be from somewhere there. Runway 4 left, 074. Yep, that is correct. Inbound to best, and that's max 230 above 2500. Then we got Swindle below 7000, Kislow below 15,000, Litz, and then via Nuna, CU to Gribby. That's all looking good. Initial climb clearance 17,000, like that, and that's our FMS done for the time being. Okay, so yaw damper on, transfer display switch is normal and auto, fuel pumps all coming on, transfer valve testing, Here we go, that's done, that's done, that's done. That's all done, that's all done. And we'll be cruising in flight level 350. Like that. Landing altitude I think is close to 0, but let's have a look. Yeah, 59 feet, minus 50, so 9 feet field elevation. That is, as I said, close to 0. Alright, up here everything is done. Flight directors are coming on. Runway heading is 036. Like that, and we can set that same thing on the courses left and right. Okay, so oil quantity is good, hydraulic quantity is good. Let's get that Q&H real quick. That's 3022. Like that, set once and set twice, and the MFRA up to 1700. Oh, that was a bit fast. Here we go, 1700. Okay, that's all looking good. You can come to life down there. So, park and brake is set. Frequencies. So, clearance 12065 and loads of ramps here. Let's see, which ground do we need? We're at the south terminal. So probably ground south west 132725. Like that, and clearance is going to be on 12065. Like that. Alright, I like that. And let's see, we got no VOR close to the field, at least not on this chart, and we don't need one, so let's just deselect the frequencies. On here everything's set. Weather and turbulence is selected. Squawk 2000 in the absence of anything else. Transponder above and off, and on the right hand side we need 1 to 1.5. Like that, and you want to listen to something as well, do you? Alright, that's all looking fantastic. Then we've finished that setup, so here we go. Alright, lovely. Then we are done with our setup, so let's go ahead and go into the departure briefing. Threats for today's departure, well, we have to de-ice the aircraft, do we? What's your opinion? Did you see any icing on the walk around? The answer is yes, you did, because I can see icing up here. So yeah, we'll have to de-ice the aircraft. So that's pretty much the one threat I got for this. Apart from that, nothing special. Now, route check. Kilo Delta Tango Whiskey to Tango Juliet Sierra Juliet, and we are the Delta Alpha Lima 1913. Routing is by the Litz 4 to Grivi, direct Bucko, direct Fuck, direct Echo, Charlie Golf, Alfa Romeo 8 Oksana, Lima 452 Sluka, direct Feedback, Yankee 355 Pling, and then, well, we got direct Salar, but it's effectively Route 7. There is no waypoint in between that, is there? No, Pling, Salar, that's it. Okay, good. And we got 1,749 miles. Come on, which checks against the flight plan. 7.7 remaining and 5.2 required, giving us a good half an hour extra. Time UTC 1335, altimeter 3022, reading 640, MFRA 1700. Flight directors are on and minus master, standby instruments set. It's a left seat takeoff, runway 4 right, flaps 5, noise abatement procedure 2 with a buck up at 1500. MSA wise, I think it's 4,500. Let's see. No, 2,800, so plus cold temperature correction, 3,000 keeps us safe. Runway 4 left for an immediate return, and that thing is more than long enough to take us even at the overweight that we have at the moment. Emergencies as briefed in the crew room, and for our taxi it's a pushback to the left hand side, and then we'll be taxiing south of the apron. Here we go, down there, probably Juliet on Tango, runway 4 right, and we'll aim to take the Yankee 2 figures. Alright, our sit is the LITS 4 departure, straight ahead right turnout, a couple altitude restrictions, none of which should be a problem, and that's pretty much it. Any questions or suggestions? Nope. Wonderful, then that's our departure briefing complete, so let's do the safety inspection checklist and before start checklist down to the line. Services and shocks checked, maintenance status checked, batteries on, electric hydraulic pumps on, landing gear lever down, chips library checked, RS mode selectors nav, gear pins 1 to 3 removed, probe covers 1 to 3, 4, 5 removed, light test checked, oxygen test 100%, yaw damper on, nav transfer and display switches normal and auto, fuel 28 required, 28 on board and 6 pumps on, cabin utility IV galley power on, emergency exit lights on, fast modes on, window heat on, air conditioning pressurization packs auto, bleeds on set, pressurization mode selector auto, instruments cross check, auto brake RTO, hydraulics are normal, speed brake, down detent, parking brake set, stop and cutout switch is normal, wheel well fire warning checked, radius, radar and transponder, standby, radar and aileron trims 3 and 0, and takeoff briefing disgusting, holding at the PA. So, how's the boarding going? Oh god, it doesn't want to operate. Okay, reset position, thank you. I've seen what I wanted to see. Let's go ahead and get our departure clearance. So, that is information Lima. So, departure clearance, status Lima, we're at Delta. Come on. At Alpha 9. Okay, fine with that. And Kilo. Okay, USA. Alright, the rest is looking good. Then we can send that stuff and see what we are gonna get. Okay. So in the meantime, we'll assume that the boarding is done, so let's say hello to our passengers. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning from Flight Deck. This is your captain speaking. My name is Emmanuel in the name of Delta Airlines. Welcome aboard our 737-900 on our flight to San Juan. Today's flight time is going to be approximately 3.5 hours, expecting a smooth ride with maybe some occasional bumps due to strong jet wind pushing us towards the Caribbean, leading to the very short flight time today. Now, we will have to de-ice the aircraft prior to departure, so if you see some vehicles spraying some stuff onto the aircraft, that's exactly what you are seeing down there. Thank you very much for your attention, thanks for being on board with us. Now sit back, relax, and make yourself comfortable, and we'll get back to you with the latest weather when we start our approach to San Juan. Thank you very much for your attention, and again, welcome aboard. Alright, so passengers are catered, then let's see. Departure request status being processed, standby. Okay. And here's the clearance. Clear to San Juan, LITS 4 departure, maintain 17,000. Departure on 124 decimal 05. Like that, squawk 2531. Okay, expect runway 4 right, Wilco, and in the box we've got runway 4 right, LITS 4 departure, climb maintain 17,000, and squawk 2531. That's all in there. Okay, lovely. Then our clearance is on board, everything is done, so let's move on to the performance, and let's tell GSX to prepare the position for pushback and departure again. And while we're on that, APU is online, so you can remove any equipment down there. Parking brake is set. Okay, we will need de-icing, but we're not gonna tell them just yet. So, zero fuel weight 142.1, which is what we got, leading us to gross weight of 170.1. That's looking good as well. Then let's go ahead and get our performance figures. Detroit, 4 right, import, anti-ice, probably engine anti-ice on, air conditioning is also going to be on. The rest is looking good. Calculate, takeoff 2, 31 degrees. Like that, 90.4% N1, which checks. And that is flaps 5 takeoff with a CG at 23. And the speeds are gonna be 154, 155, 161. That's all looking good. Like that. Okay, trim 5.8 units, which checks against the EFB, and then we're done with the performance. Okay, so that's all looking fantastic. Alright, perfect. So let's complete the checklist. That's performance. Oh, wait a moment. That's FMC CDU set, N1 and IS bucks, automatic, reduced 24K, speeds 50, 55, 61 set, stop trim 5.8 set, performance weight and balance, sign send, phones off, EFB, app node stood, flat openers and cockpit door. Locked, doors closed, passengers seated, before start checklist complete down to the line. Alright then, so far so good. Then we've done all that good stuff, so let's go ahead and prepare the airplane for our de-icing. That provided I can find my iPad, where I got the lovely procedure on. Which of course I didn't prepare prior to the flight, so be it. Okay, so what we're going to do is quite easy for the de-icing. So, all the bleeds are coming off. The packs can actually remain in auto on the 737 according to Boeing procedure. The stabilizer trim is set to the takeoff setting, thrust levers are closed, and APU only if required. It is required today, so we are going to leave it like that. Ground flatter. No answer, okay. Let's see if there is a frequency for the de-icers. No, doesn't look like it. Okay, that's fine. Then we'll have to do it this way. Ground flight deck. Please confirm that all the doors and hatches are closed, ground equipment is removed, and the bypass pin is installed. That's all confirmed. Roger, then we are ready for de-icing, and it's going to be a type 1 fluid at a 50% mixture. It's just removal of the icing, we don't need any protection, please. So we just gotta wait for those gentlemen to arrive right now, and then we can start that process. And here they come. Something you would absolutely not see in the real world. Usually takes ages for de-icing to arrive. But here we go. I like it. So there is no new ice forming or anything. Seeing that we're departing early in the morning is probably just some residues from the last night where it might have frozen a little bit. Or if the aircraft has arrived earlier during the day, then, you know, very cold airframe flying at high altitude, then you start the descent, you go into warmer and more moist air, but the airframe is still cold, and that can lead to ice forming even when you've got clear skies or when you just got some light cloud layers. And, you know, those are the main reasons why de-icing might be required, even if the actual weather conditions themselves aren't looking too bad. Now, a small layer of frost on the aircraft is acceptable, up to a thickness where all the features of the plane beneath it are still clearly visible. So that would be acceptable, but you saw our wiper, there was a lot of ice on there, so de-icing in this case absolutely required. And in the real world we wouldn't just be de-icing the wings, we'd also be doing the tail here, so both the vertical and the horizontal stabilizer. And in some cases you can even de-ice the fuselage as well. That's if there is more frost than what's allowed, or if there is any type of snow or stuff on there. And I can tell you that can take 10-15 minutes until they've done the entire aircraft. If you've got a real winter storm, then even have to do a two-step procedure, 15 minutes easily, plus another hour waiting for them to even arrive at your plane. Okay, good. So the de-icing process is completed, then we are just waiting for everything to get removed from the airplane, and we can go ahead and request our pushback and start clearance, please. So, what are we? Delta 1913. Detroit ground, Delta 1913, request pushback and startup, gate Alpha 90.
Delta 1913, pushback and startup approved, tail northeast.
Pushback and startup approved, tail northeast, Delta 1913. Okay. Before start checklist below the line, air compacts off, anti-collision light on, parking brake set, transponder auto off, before start checklist complete. Ground from flight deck. Pushback and startup approved, tail northeast, and the parking brake is set. Roger that, and that's gonna be facing southwest then. Right, release parking brake. Brake released. Thank you, stand the pushback, stand by for engine start. Roger. Okay, minute is over, then we can turn the bleeds back on. And that's master caution, air conditioning, dual bleed. We can't disregard that.
Cabin attendants, arm doors, and cross check. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Delta.
Alright, that brightness is good.
913, heading to beautiful Luis Munoz, Marin.
Okay, ready for engine start, sequence 2 then 1, and we'll begin with engine number 2 now. Roger that, clear 2.
Please pay close attention to the
Engine 2 start. And 2.
Even for frequent flyers. Fasten your seatbelts by inserting the metal tip into the buckle and pulling the strap to tighten.
Oil pressure, and 1.
Must be fastened whenever the sign is illuminated. Please return your seat backs and tray tables to the upright position and open your window blinds for takeoff. Mobile phones and electronic devices must be set to flight mode, and larger devices should be stowed securely. Smoking and the use of e-cigarettes are prohibited anywhere on board, including the lavatory. Oxygen mask.
Starter cutout. Monitor 2, starting 1.
Mask firmly. Place it over your nose and mouth and breathe normally.
And 2.
Light vests are located.
And the pushback is completed, set brakes.
Put it on
Brake set.
and inflate it only after leaving the
Oil pressure, and 1.
Floor level lighting will guide you to the nearest exit, which may be behind you. In case of evacuation, leave all personal belongings behind and follow crew instructions immediately. If any electronic device becomes hot or catches fire, inform the crew right away. The safety information card in your seat pocket contains all details.
Starter cutout. Monitor 1. Number 1 stable. Okay then, ground. We've got 2 good engine starts. You're clear to disconnect. Please prepare the airplane for taxi. See you with a clear signal on the right hand side, and have a good day. Bye bye.
Wings 2162, taxi to parking.
Spirit Wings 2162, taxi to parking via Alpha 4, Alpha Victor Zulu, Zulu 5, hold short of runway 2.
Flight control.
Then Yankee 5 Kilo Echo.
Full up. Full down.
Alpha 4,
Neutral.
Alpha, Victor,
Full
Zulu,
left.
Zulu 5,
Full right.
runway 22
Neutral.
left, then
Rudder.
Yankee 5, Kilo
Full
5,
left.
Kilo,
Full
Echo,
right.
Spirit Wings
Neutral.
2162.
Before taxi checklist. Generators on. APU off. Start switches continuous. Probe heat on. Anti-ice. Engine anti-ice on. Air conditioning. PAX auto bleeds on. Isolation mode. Auto. Flaps 5 required. 5 selected and a green light. Step trim 5.8 required and set. Start levers idly turned. Flight controls checked. Recall checked. Before taxi checklist complete. Delta 1913, request taxi.
Delta 1913, runway 4 right taxi via Juliet 8, Juliet, Quebec, Tango, Yankee 1.
Juliet 8, Quebec, Juliet, Tango, Yankee 1, runway 4 right, Delta 1913. Alright, so Juliet 8 is all the way up here. Then they said Quebec? It's up here. They'll probably want to go as like that. Alright. And we'll do that. Clear left side. Clear right side. Brakes off. Config. Delta 1913. Can we turn directly from Juliet 8 onto Tango? Because that would make the taxi a lot easier.
Delta 1913, negative taxi via Juliet 8, Juliet, Quebec, Tango, Yankee 1.
Roger, Juliet 8, Juliet, Quebec, Tango, Yankee 1, Delta 1913. Okay, right, left, right. Okay then, clear left side and clear right side. Don't need that wheel well light anymore. So I guess it's because of the Spirit up there. Which is fine with me. Alright then, before takeoff checklist down to the line. Config. Checked. Flaps 5 green lights. Stop trim 5.8 set. Takeoff briefing. Left seat takeoff, runway 4 right, flaps 5, noise abatement 2, backup 1500. Takeoff speeds 154, 155, 161, and that's with the pack throttle bleeds on, engine RTI is on. Contact departure when advised by air traffic control and...
Brickyard 44904, taxi to parking by Alpha 4, Alpha Victor Zulu, Zulu 5, hold short of runway 2.
Engine out, straight at 25, climbing 3000. Any questions? Nope. Alright, that's the briefing complete. Cabin secure, before takeoff checklist complete. And the right side is clear, de-icing the Delta 350 over there. One Spirit in front of us at the runway. And here's Quebec, where we go to the left.
Whiskey, Papa 3, hold short of runway 3 left, then Mike 3, Foxtrot, hold short of runway 9 left, then Echo 2, Kilo Echo. Whiskey 4, Whiskey Papa 3, hold short of runway 3 left, then Mike 3, Foxtrot, hold short of runway 9 left, then Echo 2, Kilo Echo, Brickyard 4764.
Alright, everything's clear on the left, everything's clear on the right. And here we are on Tango, Yankee 1 straight ahead. So right behind the Spirit.
Delta 1913, contact tower on 135.0, safe flight.
1350, Delta 1913, see ya. Detroit Tower, Delta 1913, ready for departure.
Delta 1913, Metro Tower, runway 4 right, line up and wait.
Runway 4 right, line up and wait, Delta 1913. Cabin crew, prepare for departure. Okay.
1913, runway 4 right, winds 330 at 6. RNAV best, cleared for takeoff.
On off to Dast, runway 4 right, clear for takeoff from Delta 1913. Before takeoff checklist below the line, MCP.
Runway 22 left.
Set, transponder, Tara, strobe lights on, and well, we just got the clearance, so landing lights on. Before takeoff checklist complete.
2162.
Okay, are you ready?
On runway 04 right.
Takeoff. Stabilized. Set takeoff thrust. Takeoff thrust set, indications normal. Ew, what the hell? Checked! That was an interesting bump in the runway.
Brickyard 4764.
Brickyard 4494, hold short of runway 22 left.
Gear up.
Holding short of runway 22 left, Brickyard 4494.
LNAV, VNAV. That hut was a little dark.
22 left, Brickyard 4494.
Delta 1913, contact departure.
Over to departure, Delta 1913. Okay, flaps 1. Speed check, flaps 1. Gear track departure, Delta 1913, passing 2,500, climbing 17,000. Flaps up. Speed checks. Flaps up.
Delta 1913, metro departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 17,000, turn right heading 085, vectors to best, then on course.
Climb and maintain 17,000 to Brest, then on course, Delta 1913. I'll disregard that heading because that doesn't make much sense. We'll just continue to Brest. No stick shaker, don't get fuzzy. Okay, flaps up, no lights.
Delta 1913, climb and maintain flight level 210.
Climb, maintain flight level 210, Delta 1913. Set, 210 tracked. Yeah, don't overdo it, flight director. Let's not get fancy. See, sometimes it's much easier if you just overrule it. And yes, we do actually do that in the real world as well. Okay. So, Command A. Now, he cleared us to 210, so let's remove those altitude restrictions. And then after takeoff checklist. Air condition and pressurization is at 2.4, climbing and Set. Altimeters. QNH 3022 passing 6400 now. After takeoff checklist complete. Okay, I think we can already release our cabin crew. It seems pretty smooth over here. So, let's ask the important question. When are we going to be there? 1727, schedule is 1810, so... Tell you what, let's just save a bit of money then, cost the next 0. $31, 6.8, easy. Ooh, lovely. Engine anti-ice off. And engine anti-ice is off.
Delta 1913, climb and maintain flight level 260.
Climb and maintain flight level 260, Delta 1913. Set, 260 checked, VNAV. Delta 1913, any chance to proceed direct ZU? So that would save us that left turn here.
Delta 1913, unable direct ZU, proceed as filed via list 4 departure, vector swindle.
Roger, proceeding via the list 4, Delta 1913. It was worth a try. I guess they can't do it because we are going through a bit of Canadian airspace here. As you can see, Canada until Nona, and ZU is behind that. That's probably the reason. Okay, so, altimeters. Passing 104, climbing 260, 10 checks. The fuel is balanced with 6 pumps on, lights off, APU off, air conditioner pressurization, 4.0 climbing set, fasten belts. Auto, recall, checked, monitoring 1 to 1.5. And then we can lock on CPDLC, and that's pretty much it then. So, connection, center, KUSA, and send that, and here we go. Alright then. That's all I got for the time being. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us, and I'll get back to you when we start the approach into San Juan. We're descending into San Juan after 3 hours and 23 minutes of flight time. The weather is typical Caribbean down here with, well, some showers in the area, Pretty much as you would expect it for this region of the world in this time of the year. Now let's go ahead and call approach 19.4. We've just gotten the handoff here. And then they're going to tell us what we will be up to for the arrival. Southbound approach, Delta 1913, passing 14,000, descending 6,000.
Delta 1913, San Juan approach, good afternoon, San Juan altimeter 1017, expect the ILS runway 10 approach into San Juan.
Altimeter 1017, expect the ILS runway 10, Delta 1913. Alright, the QNH should have been in inches over here, 3005 is what it is. Can just quickly check that here.
Delta 1913, altimeter 1017 set, expect ILS runway 10 approach.
Yeah, you set that already. Alright, so that's it. Now, if you're wondering, we got a rather low target speed over here. That's because of our cost NX0, which actually gives us 239 knots. So, saving. But again, the schedule is 18:10, so we are currently 50 minutes ahead of our schedule by landing maybe 40 or 35 minutes ahead. Alright, let's go ahead and take a moment to talk about the approach. So, threats for the arrival, I honestly don't see any. Then we got the speeds all in. The forecast pages are in. Fixed rings runway 10, 10 miles, 4 miles. And the approach starts at Ramsey in 1500 with a 3-degree glide down to the minimum. Let's open the chart real quick. Of 260 feet, which is set and verified on both sides as well. The missed approach takes us straight ahead to 1,900 feet, then left turn to 3,000 feet, heading 300, and outbound on San Juan radial 4 to Dead-E, climbing, well, 3,000. Down here we got the runway track to 1900, heading 300 to intercept 004 to Dead-E, climbing 3000. We'll arrive with 5.9 and the minimum required is 5.2, giving us about 10 minutes extra fuel. And
13, I've got a shortcut for you. Descend and maintain 10,000 feet, turn right, heading 205 vectors for the ILS runway 10 approach, altimeter 1017.
Maintain 10,000, right heading 205, and expect Vectors ILS 10, Delta 1913. Heading select, 1000 to go, vertical speed. I'll tell you what, let's make that 250 here to fit into the traffic flow. Okay, yeah, so we're burning 500 pounds, leading to a landing weight of 148.1. Like that, flaps 30, auto brakes 3 to vacate the runway to the left-hand side. Runway itself is runway 10 over here, plenty of exits available, and 8,016 feet long. So off probably a total of 6, and then down up here to the apron. And that's it. Any questions or suggestions? No? Beautiful, then that's our approach briefing completed. All acquire, so let's quickly say bye-bye to our passengers as well. Fasten belts coming on. Ladies and gentlemen, from Flight Deck, this is your captain speaking. We are now on the approach to San Juan with a remaining flight time of about 10 minutes. The weather over there currently a couple of rain showers passing through, temperature 23 degrees centigrade. Thank you for choosing to fly with Delta today. We hope you enjoyed your flight as much as we did, and we look forward to welcoming you again on board of future service. In the meantime, please buckle up, get your seats upright, and prepare for the arrival. Thank you very much for your attention. Okay. So, those gentlemen are taken care of. Then let's do the 10 checks. We're maintaining 10,000. The fuel is balanced, and we have 4 pumps on, lights on, angle of bank 25, air can and press, 4.0 descending, set fast modes on, recall, checked, and 21.5 is still getting monitored, data link.
We are now on our final approach to beautiful San Juan.
Is disconnected.
Electronic devices and slow them until we arrive.
Okay, expecting Bravo 6. That is copied. Okay, 10 checks are completed. So let's see where Bravo 6 is.
Delta 1877, contact San Juan Oceanic Center on 118.75.
Okay, that'll be easy. So we'll vacate the runway off to the left and then park in down here. Excellent. Questions? Nope. Love it. So, descent checklist. Pressurization, land out 0, any ice off, approach bring fuel disgusting, ice mailbox, checked and set, descent checklist complete. Okay, so we might just about tune San Juan VOR 14-0 here on the standbys, just in case of missed approach. Like that. Okay, nice, I like it. Then we'll just be waiting for further descent clearance now. We are currently a little bit low, even though the VNAV profile tells us otherwise. That's because of all the restrictions we had on the arrival. But if you look at this, Tinner 3000, we got about 25 miles to get there. We need to lose 7,000 feet, meaning we need 21 miles. So our profile is actually pretty good. But I will ask him for further descent now. Delta 1913, request further descent.
Delta 1913, unable to comply with 30 seconds delay request.
What? Delta 1913, request further descent. I might have been speaking too quickly again. Been doing too much real-world flying lately.
Delta 1913, descend at your discretion.
Descending at our discretion, altitude 3000, Delta 1913. That is not exactly what you would get in the real world, I suppose, but hey, here we go. Set, 3000 check, level change.
24 miles from Tanner. Turn left heading 160, descend and maintain 2200 feet until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 10 approach.
Left heading 160, descend and maintain 2200, cleared ILS 10, Delta 1913. Okay, that makes it easy, so Tanner on top. Like that, here we go. This shows us a little high, but we're not actually. So speed 250 is in here. We are not like 2,800 feet high. That's a little over top. Okay, overall, profile is looking good, and we will need a little speed brake, but not as much as the plane thinks there. Okay, down we go. Then let's do the frisk check. Frequencies 109.7, check 3 times. Fixed rings runway 10 miles, 4 miles. Islands, India Charlie Lima Alpha, India Charlie Lima Alpha, and India Charlie Lima Alpha. Standby instruments set, and the course is 101, checked 3 times. Approach checklist. Altimeters and instruments, cross-checked, approach rates, checked set, approach checklist complete. And the VSP is on. That's really a tool that I don't quite understand why Airbus never implemented it as a retrofit in the 320 and 330 series. You only have it available in 380 and 350, because it is just a super useful tool when it's done right. In the 737, never really liked it too much because, I mean, look at this, it just takes away so much from your display space. And if you put your nav display to a decent range with the VSD active, then the range on the VSD isn't too useful. So that's kind of a little limitation here on the 737, but I'm sure it could have been done better. And knowing Airbus and their avionics designs, they probably would have done it better. But hey, so be it. Ain't gonna complain too much here. Okay, so the vector takes us slightly inside the 10-mile ring. That's gonna be okay. Wind has turned into a headwind as well now. Final approach fix is Ramsey over there, so we don't really need to worry about catching that. Okay. Cabin crew, prepare for landing. So, cabin should be ready. Weather is absolutely fine, not perfect, but fine. Alright, slowly but steadily approaching the 10-mile ring. By the time we enter the 10 miles, we gotta have reduced 200 knots and be at least in flaps 1. So we'll start speed reduction when passing 4,000 feet here. That should be absolutely fine. And let's already pre-select the tower frequency. That's gotta be 13205. Like that. Alright, we are below the... Alright, let's start speed reduction. 210. And then we might as well take over manually. Okay, autopilot and auto thrust are off. We are cleared for the approach. Approach arms. Flaps 1. Speed checked. Flaps 1.
Delta 19 and 13, contact San Juan Tower on 132.05 when established.
132.05 when established. Delta 1913, see ya. Yeah, I'm gonna call it now. San Juan Tower, Delta 1913, coming up on the ILS 10. Flaps 5. Speed checked.
Delta 1913, San Juan Tower. Roger.
Waller capture, Glasgow capture.
Runway 10.
Continue, approach runway 10, Delta 1913. Okay, runway heading 101, go around altitude 3000 set.
Delta 1913, winds 010 at 14. Runway 10, clear to land.
Runway 10, clear to land, Delta 1913. Okay. So, a little turbulent here. You can see what I'm doing on the yoke down there in order to keep our flight path. And gear down, flaps 15. Landing checklist to flaps. Start switches, continuous, recall checked, speed brake, arm green light, landing gear down 3 green, auto brake 3 set, holding at flaps. Okay, we're VMC, so the 500-foot gate applies. Alright, flaps 30, speed check, flaps 30, and set VREF plus 5. So complete the landing checklist. Flaps 30, 30, green light, landing lights on, landing checklist complete. Lovely terrain down here, isn't it? At this point, just again thank you to Orbex for providing me with the San Juan scenery from Puerto Rico. let's have a look at that airport now. And 500, continue.
Approaching minimums.
Checked. Disregard that runway symbol on the hut over there.
Minimums.
Continue. Beautifully smooth conditions.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Spoilers, reverse green. $100 knots.
Meters remaining. 900
80 knots.
remaining.
We'll vacate at the end.
600 remaining.
And manual brakes. Alright. Let's already start cleaning up here.
Delta 1913, contact ground on 121.9er.
121.9 Delta 1913.
San Juan. Did you know that Puerto Rico is home to the only tropical
30
rainforest?
meters
Delta 1913. Roger, continue taxi to Concourse B, gate 6.
Concourse B, gate 6, Delta 1913.
Entire crew would like to say goodbye to you now. Please remain seated until we reach our final parking point. Thank you for flying with Delta Airlines.
Alright, taxi in is as expected. Then let's go ahead and set our course to that parking. Okay, so overall, very beautiful approach. Kinda came off the runway centerline a little bit when I took a couple screenshots, but well, that's Flight Simulator related, not much we can do about that. In any case, welcome to Puerto Rico. I do hope you enjoyed that one. As always, leave your feedback in the comments underneath. And now let's have a look at the latest Caribbean airport.
Cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, 8 JetBlue 1034.
Alrighty, so what we're gonna do is to enter the stand or the apron down here from that last taxiway. And let's already get GSX in place. Bravo 6 and no follow me required. Handling by, I don't care. And then we'll turn next to the right and then our gate should be more or less straight ahead. Right, start APU. And Bravo 6, I think, is that one.
United 1173 holding short 8, ready for departure. United 1173, winds calm.
Okay,
runway
so
8, cleared for
slightly to
takeoff.
the right.
Safe travels.
That's the one where all the ground equipment is, so that's the one we're going to turn
United
into.
1173. JetBlue 904.
Lights
on
off.
Departure. Safe travels.
And radar is off as well. So that's at Bravo 4 there, then that one here is Bravo 6. Alright, both sides are clear. Marshal is in sight.
Contact departure.
APU available.
Departure, JetBlue 1034.
And on the bus. And thank you. Okay, 2 blue, 1 red. Engines dead. Cabin crew, disarm doors and cross-check. Okay. So, here we are. And then... I am going to keep that APU running with the pretty moist atmosphere that you'll find in the Caribbean. Believe me, you want that air conditioning. Even 22 degrees is too much. Okay, transit shutdown checklist. That's the electrical, on APU, fasten belts off, ProPeat auto, NEIs off, voice recorder on, air compacts auto, engine bleeds on, APU bleed on, exterior lights, steady and wheel well, start switches auto brake off, speed brake down a 10, flaps up and light, parking brake set, start levers cut off, weather radar off, transponder 2000 standby, CV/RCB in, cockpit door unlocked, and that's the transit shutdown checklist complete. Well then, my friends, 29 minutes early, welcome to San Juan. I do hope you enjoyed the flight. Leave your feedback in the comments underneath. As always, like, comment and subscribe, and then I'm really looking forward to see you all again on the next one.